like staring at this, when you're saying when you were younger and you're just staring at the sand with absolute fascination. It almost makes me think of that. I forget what the expression is, but almost like you can see a whole universe within a grain of sand.
Exactly. Yeah.
Has that and obviously then with an exploration of things even on a quantum level, like breaking things down way smaller than even a grain of sand, has this kind of nature of reality or this curiosity of trying to understand the universe, is that still a kind of a considerable driver for you?
Oh, totally. And it didn't stop there. I mean, there was the quantum stuff that opened the door. But then when I was in my PhD, I met this woman who is a neuroscientist, and she's from the United States, and I fell in love with her. So I moved here, and I studied art because I had meant to do art, and I felt always like a tourist in physics. But then now I'm here for the last over 20 years. We're 4 kids, we're married, and all that stuff. So the I changed courses because I felt I didn't really learn anything new. But then there was all these years where I did art, and now since 2004 I've been doing this full time, and I it started shifting again when I in 2016 got really interested in UFOs, and I started like reading all the books I could find, because my father-in-law, who's also actually it's a weird story because I met her because my father-in-law gave a talk in Italy at a workshop for scientists about quantum physics and parapsychology. And so I made my very first sculpture there and met my now wife at that same week, in that same week. And that same father-in-law had told me at some point that he had seen a UFO. And I was like, that's really weird. And but then it took me years and years to kind of come to grips with it and say, wait, that is crazy. What's up with that? And since 2016, I've been like reading like a ridiculous amount of books and try to get a grip of what can I trust, develop the intuition. And there's so much weirdness and craziness and also self-delusional stuff. So
Yeah.
this whole field of parapsychology and UFO and all that stuff, you have to really develop an intuition and follow your own nose and your own faith, if you will. And so that's what I was trying to do over the last years, kind of pretty much independent of my artwork. The artwork meant things, but on the surface, I could say, "Oh, that's what I'm interested in." But I was just following what I felt like doing without thinking much about it, and developing the craft and stuff in the studio, which is also like a big deal. You have to have people who help you because it's always teamwork. But so at the same time, almost parallel, I developed this interest in the other, anything that points beyond the typical current scientific paradigm. And that led in the last several years to like an exploration of um, psychedelics, journeying with ayahuasca, um, many other things that really very much opened up my mind and made me rethink how I feel about my body, how I feel about the world. I mean, huge leaps, and that was really fascinating.
Thanks for watching the latest clip from the What is a Good Life podcast. My name's Mark McCartney. I'm the host of this podcast, and I'm also a coach based in Berlin. Over the last 2 years, I've interviewed over 150 people around this question, and I've distilled these findings, anecdotes, and experiences into both corporate workshops and one-on-one coaching programs. If you're a corporate looking to book a workshop for your next event, or you're a working professional in need of finding answers to some of the bigger questions in life, please direct message me below for a free 30-minute consultation.